We are here with Liz. Again, this is Thursday night, and we just finished up our last meal at the St. Francis Inn. And our very last reflection this week is by Liz, and she's just going to tell us a little bit about where she is and what's been going on this week. So I'll start with asking you, what was going on today? What'd you do today?
Well, today was kind of back to normal. We did some other things yesterday, but we helped out with breakfast and dinner and all sorts of stuff today. But something that was really interesting for me today was that Bernie took us on a walk down Kensington Avenue, which is the street that the inn is on, and kind of around the neighborhoods next to Kensington. And he told us his story and why he knows the streets so well and why he's comfortable, you know, taking us around, basically because no one will mess with him, but which was really interesting to hear where he came from. But we walked pretty far, and we went through some pretty bad areas and went straight through some drug deals, and we saw spots and memorials where girls had been raped and killed and just left. And that was really, it was scary for me, and it was really hard for me to go through that because people still remember what happened, but it's still happening today. And it was like almost walking through a movie, and you know something, you know the bad guy's going to attack at any moment, and you're just waiting for it to happen. Like you see all these little schoolgirls in their Catholic uniforms getting on buses, off buses, and this is their neighborhood. This is where they're going home from school, and then you have shady guys walking around selling drugs, and just, it's unsettling because you know the possibilities and basically what could happen and what will happen. So it was kind of a depressing day in that sense because it kind of all became real. It's one thing when people come in to the inn and come into where you are and you welcome them in, but when you go to where they're from, it's completely different.
Are you glad, or I won't say glad, but was it good for you to go and see that side of Kensington, see where the people we serve come from?
Yeah, it really was, because when they come in, they're in conversation with you, and that's the highlight of their day, is getting a meal, getting a good conversation, having someone ask them, you know, how they are, what's going on, just talking about the weather, anything really. But then, and that's what you see. You see someone who's excited to get a meal and a conversation. But when you go out there, you see the street. You see needles on the ground, poop on the ground, people sitting on the side of the road. We even saw some of the people at the inn, and they were just walking around waiting for dinner. I saw them at breakfast. We saw them out walking, just sitting around waiting, and then we saw them at dinner, and that's their day. And it never occurred to me that they didn't do anything during the day. They just waited for the inn and for the hospitality. So
it's difficult to, really put a finger on how this is changing you, but I think everybody has seen this change who you are throughout the week, or change, who you are becoming. Can you speak to a little bit about how you feel the Spirit moving in your life as you, walk through the streets of Kensington today?
Yeah. Well, I've gone on mission trips and done ministry at different places throughout my life, so this wasn't necessarily a new thing, but it was, because it was completely different. I've never done anything in America or in an inner city like this especially one so close to home. And I guess it's kind of a God bringing me back thing, renewing my faith in Him and my trust in Him and my dependence on Him, and just me being able to realize that I am nothing without Him, and we are all nothing without Him. But through Christ's strength, we can do all things. And when I was coming here, I guess I had the mindset that we're going to be helping these people, that we were blessed, so we're going to help others, but we're all equal. We're all on the same page. We're all the same in God's eyes. And I think it's that realization that I'm going to take home from this.
That's wonderful. It's very powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Let's speak a little bit about the Franciscan tradition. You grew up now Catholic, and it's been fun just getting to know you, not only on the service trip, but you come to our women's group, and you are known as the person who asks all the questions about Catholicism, which is really fun to answer. Tell us about what you think about Francis or the Franciscan tradition, or meeting the friars here, anything along that line.
The friars are so cool. I was really scared of Father Bill the first time he came into Mass, the very first Sunday morning that we were here. Because at first I thought he was grumpy, but then I realized he was just being really funny, kind of like my grandpa used to be. And they're so cool and just friendly and loving, and they're just like grandpas, they're like father figures, and you can see their love for Christ in everything that they do. And they might not say much, and they might not preach it right in your face outside of Mass, but every single interaction they have with anyone, you can see God's love pouring out their heart. And that is a testament in itself. They don't need to say a word. They can just give you a smile or a high five, and you can feel God's love.
Kind of like what we talked about, I think it was the first or second night, preach the gospel, but if necessary, use words.
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. What, is there anything else you'd like to share with us, or?
Like what?
Any other thoughts you've been thinking, or anything that stood out with you throughout the whole week, an experience you'll take back with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny that you ask what I'll take back with me, because I think a lot of people come on trips like this, and I've been on trips like this, and it was like, okay, I did that, it was good, pack it in my basket of memories, put it in my journal, put it on my resume as a volunteer trip, and it's good, it's done, it's over with. But I think that it's more than that. And it's just like when, like in the Bible, it says, to those who can be trusted with small things, they will be given greater things. And like the parable or whatever, I don't know, in the Bible, the king gives his servants coins, and he says, here's a gift, take it and see what you can do with it. And the one servant comes back and he doubled it. And the king's like, good, that's awesome. Now here's more, or I don't remember what happens. But, and then the next one, he gets more coins too, and the king's like, great, 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 that's awesome. But the last servant is like, well, you see, I took your coins, and I wrapped them up, and I saved them, and they're really clean, and here they are. I see? And the king's like, no, that's not what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to multiply them and not just save it and keep it to yourself, but give them to other people so they can enjoy that. And that's how I feel about this trip, and I think that's what God's doing in me, is not to just, pack it up and keep it to myself, but to let this gift, let this experience, which is truly a gift from God, to be here and to see his love in such a pure way, and to take it back to Buffalo, take it wherever I go in life, and multiply it for all the people that I see and interact with. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've been processing this whole trip.
Well, thank you very much, Liz. It's been a joy to have you here and get to know you better. We have been energized by your smile and your laughter and your dancing. It's just been a wonderful gift to have you with us, and we're glad that you're here with us. Thank you very much.
Thanks.